For farmers, making sure your fruit is perfectly ripe and your meat full of flavor is never easy. Artificial intelligence could be the game changer that could transform all of that. For more insight into AI in agriculture, Ian Khan joins us now. He's a theoretical futurist, television host, and author of Undisrupted. Welcome to the show. I don't think I've ever met a theoretical futurist, so it's so good to
Hi,
have you
Karina.
on, Ian.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Let me start by saying AI has infiltrated every part of our lexicon, right? And life, it seems. Can you explain the benefits of incorporating it into agriculture? What's the cost-benefit analysis there, if you will?
Of course. Karina, agriculture is the world's oldest profession. And by far, about 100 years ago, a lot of people used to work in agriculture. Now, that paradigm is shifting. There are less and less people getting into agriculture. It's hard work. You've got to, get in there and do very, very hard work. As a result of that, the agriculture industry is facing a challenge. But if there's no agriculture, how are all the mouths going to feed? And how are 9 billion people on the planet going to be fed in the next decade or 2 decades? AI is at an amazing place right now. In my opinion, it's still at a very initial stage of being what it can be, but it's making its impact in some very specific industries, including agriculture. And we're just starting to explore what it can do, and the cost benefit saving is just one of those things. You're looking at increasing crop yield through research that takes place because of AI. You can look at protection from pests and weeds. You can look at improving supply chain and all of those different things that happen within a typical farm anywhere in the world. Is just a matter of that happening right now.
Despite those sort of macro benefits, if you will, what do you say to small individual farmers that say AI and the costs associated with it are just impeding their livelihoods?
So what is happening with technology is that it is a well-known thing that when something new comes up, it's the costs are prohibitive. It's expensive. But as technology matures, the costs go down. Right now, as of today, there are apps on the Apple and the Google app stores with which you can take a picture of a leaf and it'll tell you what that plant is. And you can do that for weeds. Any farmer can take those apps and start taking pictures and figuring it out. You don't need massive amount of automation. You don't need to, have a data center in your farm, but it's really about thinking differently and thinking, hey, how can I as a farmer use technology to help me do better, increase my yield, take care of my crops, and do all of that. So the tools are available. And it's a step-by-step process rather than jumping in with huge investments. Take small steps, and those tools are available.
So it seems like it really can help address quality control issues that even small farmers can benefit from. But let me ask you, what are some of the biggest challenges tied to data and privacy, accessibility, for example?
Of course, see, digital inclusion is a big challenge no matter which country you're in, from America to Australia, the entire world covered. Technology is expensive to implement, and a typical farmer is not working on a very big margin and has a lot of profits. Farmers work on very lean margins, and it's important for them. Their investments in technology make sense, and they reap the rewards. In many cases, the cash flow has to support those investments, and that I think is the big challenge. But technology, as it becomes more complex, the costs are also dropping, and so it will become much better in the next few days, weeks, months, and years for any small farmer or large farmer to be able to incorporate some technologies within their farm and go one step at a time. So it's really important to know what they need and what you need as a farmer and how that looks like, and what's the transition phase over the next few years, if you will.
And so do you think AI is the future of agriculture? And then also I'm interested in knowing what the environmental impact of using AI in farming is.
Of course, see, any farmer, any industry connected with farming wants it to be more productive. We want more yield. We want better, more beautiful looking tomatoes and cherries. We all need that, right? We need less wastage. And AI can help address many of those things if we have the right data, if we start integrating that into our processes. I recently worked with North Carolina Sweet Potato Commission in understanding how sweet potatoes are grown in North Carolina and what's the journey of those. In many places, AI is used to identify potatoes, size them, process them, and so on and so forth. And so that has to be kept into consideration. Where is AI being used and what part of AI is being used? In terms of costs, you really have, I think the second part of your question was relating to cost, right? You really have to understand your business process, your farming process to be able to say, here's where I need help, and to consult with people and experts and companies that actually can help you. And your profitability will take care of the cost. So that's one. Environmental, you asked me about the environmental impact. AI in general has a cost of running, right? There are servers running, there are big machineries running that are enabling AI in the back end. And I think technology companies are doing a great job in addressing this and making these operations sustainable using renewable energy. So I think as long as that balance is created, we shouldn't stop ourselves from using and maximizing the utilization of AI.
It will be so interesting to see what the future holds. That was a fantastic discussion. Ian Khan, thank you so much for your time.